I hope you're all having a wonderful day and welcome back to my channel. Today is the day that the James Charles Instant Influencer Show launched on YouTube. I was so excited to watch it and I thought it'd be fun just to kind of talk about the show, hear your guys' thoughts as well as I do like a get ready with me for this eyeshadow look. Honestly, it's very similar to the look I first did when I got the James Charles palette, so it's gonna be pretty similar. I am using the Jaclyn Hill Vol II palette today for this eyeshadow look. I don't go into a ton of detail, I just basically kind of do my eyeshadow as I talk about the show, my thoughts about it. I did watch the first episode today. I don't try to include too many spoilers if you guys haven't seen it, but I will be talking about the show, my thoughts on that, especially as someone who has auditioned for the show and obviously clearly did not make the show, but I'm still really excited about it and I'm excited to share my thoughts with it and hear what you guys think too. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this get ready with me. I am using natural lighting again today, so hopefully the lighting doesn't change too much between this video. I mean, it depends on how long it takes me to make this video. But I'm starting off by using the P. Louise base. This is Rumor 0.5. And I'm just taking a little bit of that on the back of my hand, not too much. Like just the smallest amount, because a little bit goes a long ways. From there, I'm taking it on my ring finger, just tapping it in, and then just tapping that right onto my lid. So I'm just gonna get us started on this eyeshadow tutorial, and then when I'm blending everything out, that's when I'll be talking about the show. But have you guys seen the show yet? I just watched it literally as it came out. I was so excited to watch it. I started watching it literally probably at like 12:05. I can't say I was on there right when it aired, but I think I was there probably around like 12:05. If you guys didn't see my last tutorial, I did use just one brush to do the entire eyeshadow look, and I'll basically be doing that again today. This is the Morphe M433 brush. It's the same one I used for the last tutorial, and I'm using the Jaclyn Hill Vol II palette. I'm creating this eyeshadow look. It looks really similar actually to the eyeshadow look I first created when the James Charles palette first came out like a year and a half ago, and I love these bright, vibrant colors. So just playing around, I was using this yellow No Joke, and then I also used My Man, dipped into Heart On, Tipsy Girl underneath, and then I also used Therapy Sesh. So I used a lot more of the bright colors, and then I used a little bit of Certified just to tone it down a little bit. So I'm starting off with the shade No Joke, that is that Bumblebee yellow color. I'm just going to start pressing that right on my crease area. So for those who don't know, I actually auditioned to be on the show on Instant Influencer, and I don't know how much I can and cannot say, but I did make it past the first round, and I was super excited, and it was still for me just amazing just to make it like as far as I did, just making it past the first round, just having them see my video that I posted that you guys saw. I was so excited. I did not make it on the show, obviously, if you guys haven't watched it, but it was kind of cool to see me in the promo. Like I saw my video in the promo and I had a couple people reach out to me like, is that you? It was for like 5 seconds, but still really, really cool. And honestly, just like making it past the first round for me, I felt like was just really exciting, and I was really proud of myself for just doing that. And I was really interested to see what the show looks like. There are a couple different like makeup type, sorry, I keep like focusing. There are a couple different type of makeup shows. I mean, there's Glow Up that recently aired. And I feel like honestly the show's not necessarily like another makeup show. To me, it really reminds me of like RuPaul's Drag Race. I also used to watch this show back in the day. I can't remember the name of it, but there was a show back in the day that was basically all like sci-fi type makeup, and it was so cool. And I absolutely loved, I think it's called like The Face or something. This is gonna drive me nuts. But I loved watching that show. And so that one was really fun. I think that's kind of when I started getting into makeup, was like watching that show. It's really cool to see how different these shows are. And so I didn't really know what to expect when it came to like Instant Influencer, what the goal was. Honestly, like my idea of what it would have looked like is not like Glow Up, but I thought that maybe they were gonna test, I mean, it's the first episode, so maybe they'll go into this. But I kind of envisioned them testing different aspects of being like an influencer, because to me, like being an influencer isn't just like creating content. I feel like it's a lot more about working with brands and doing different things and doing meet and greets. And I thought like, I mean, creating videos is part of it, but I thought too, like maybe creating content, creating different challenges. Like I kind of envisioned like, I guess the broader aspect of being an influencer. And I thought about too, maybe they'll test, like maybe they'll create like a fake scandal and see how they react, because I feel like that's part of being an influencer too, is like being able to like react when something doesn't go the way you intend it to. So that's kind of like what I envisioned with the show. And so it's been interesting to see what it actually has been looking like and the direction they've taken that in, just because it's different than what I would have necessarily expected. To me, it actually reminds me a lot of like RuPaul's Drag Race, with how they do things. But again, it's only been episode 1. I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to see what it ends up being. But for the eyeshadow, I'm having a hard time. I don't know why it's having the hardest time focusing right now. Basically, I'm starting off with this yellow shade and just kind of blending that all over. I am picking up a little bit of Certified as well to help kind of blend that out a little bit, just along the edges where the brow bone is. It's kind of messy. And then after that, I am picking up the shade My Man. This is the orange shade. Actually, it's interesting because on the palette it looks like more neon and like in the camera, but here it looks very like orange, like tangerine orange. And then just kind of working like in the crease area, maybe just right below the crease slightly. One thing I was so excited about, because obviously when we first heard about the show itself, when James announced it, he did talk about the $50,000 prize, but he said there were some other things that were going to be happening too, but he didn't really go into further detail about that. So he did talk about that in the first episode, what some of the other prizes were. It's interesting because I was thinking maybe they'll win some makeup from like Anastasia, once we heard that Norvina was one of the guest judges that was going to be the guest judge throughout the entire show. I thought, oh, like maybe she will be partnering with him, because like for RuPaul's Drag Race, whoever wins also wins like makeup from Anastasia. So I thought, oh, maybe they're doing that for this show. But what they decided to do, if you guys haven't seen it, for the prizes, is they are actually, James is giving whoever wins basically his entire setup for filming. So that includes like lights, camera, all that, which I think is huge. He said it was worth like $10,000, which I can totally believe that. And having a good filming setup is everything, especially like for me, like I'm just using natural lighting right now. I do have some pretty simple like studio box lights from Amazon in my room, but they are a pain because like I just have everything in my room. I live in a house with a couple other roommates, and so I don't really have a space to like film, which if I did, like that would be like the dream, is to have a space where you can just like film and like go in the room and just film and then leave, because I have to like set everything up in my bedroom and take it all down, and like that takes forever. So the fact that he was going to give someone his setup, or basically, well, not his actual setup, but like buy a setup for them, which I thought was so cool. That to me was like a huge prize. First of all, a lot of people don't necessarily, I mean, some people like reveal like what their setup is, but I don't think, like I wouldn't necessarily know what his setup is. So the fact that he'd be giving it to someone when you don't necessarily know, like that for me helps a lot, like knowing what to use. Winning his setup would be like, that's a cool prize. And also, in addition to that, he said that the winner would also be creating a video with him, which I feel like the videos he creates with people are huge, like the collaborations. He does it with like people who are like celebrities. I mean, it's kind of like all the other influencers too. Like I'm thinking of like Patrick Starr. He does that too with like a lot of celebrities. He'll be doing their makeup. Same with Manny MUA. I feel like that's the thing to do when it comes to collabs. So he doesn't just like collab with anyone. So the fact that he was going to collaborate with the winner too, I thought that was so cool. I also liked too how the influencers that he picked, because that was another thing too. It's like they wanted like micro influencers, but I know that like that's kind of hard to define, because I feel like I'm a micro influencer, especially like on Instagram. I think that's like 25,000 on Instagram. Obviously I have more on here. I think it's at like 63,000 subscribers. So I do feel like my channel is bigger on YouTube. That's my biggest platform, as opposed to like Instagram or TikTok. But I feel like some of the other people they picked, like Strash Me has over, I think she has over 100,000 on Instagram. And I know Kaylin, I think she has, maybe 40,000, 37,000. She's somewhere in the 30s or 40s. So I feel like the people they picked have like higher followings than me, like on Instagram, but on YouTube they're micro influencers in the sense that they have like, some of them had like only like 1,000 followers or subscribers on YouTube, and then I think Strash Me had like 20,000. So it's been kind of interesting too to see what they define as like a micro influencer, because I feel like that term, like especially, is very variable by person. Because like I would consider myself a micro influencer, even though I'm sure to me and a lot of people, I think that having an audience of like 63,000 is a lot of people. But in terms of like, if you're going to compare me to like a channel who has like 1 million subscribers, like I feel like that would be considered an influencer. But there's not really like, that's what's so interesting about social media. There's not really a point where you're like, oh, you become an influencer when you have like X amount of followers. I think it just depends on like how your content does, and I mean, it's just so fluid when it comes to collaborations, because like even though I wouldn't consider myself like a full-blown influencer, I've had some amazing opportunities with brands and even like paid collaborations. But I feel like these are all really great people that they picked, and I feel like they're all great for totally different reasons, and their styles are different, and I think they're all wonderful, and I absolutely love the show, and I love the way especially like the very end, how with the contestant that ended up leaving, how James sat down with them and really like, I don't know, I guess I was comparing it to like RuPaul's Drag Race, how they're just like bye, or like honestly any other show where they're just like see you later and they just say bye to them on stage. I thought it was really sweet that he went in and talked to them one-on-one in person. I just thought that added a really nice touch, and it just seemed really genuine, and I thought it was an interesting way of doing it too, where they're all in different rooms finding out like for themselves like what happened, as opposed to doing it in front of everyone else. I don't know, as someone who watches like RuPaul's Drag Race, I mean obviously they're gonna talk and figure out who won, but I feel like it almost like creates a little bit of like animosity when like everyone's finding out at the same time. I don't know, but I mean, because I've never been in the position, so I really don't know what that would feel like, but I thought it was interesting and kind of a nice touch that he told them by video, and he told them each individually, so it wasn't like they were finding out all together. I thought that was kind of interesting. It's different because I feel like every other show they have them find out together. But I thought it was so cool that Paris Hilton was one of the guest judges. That was so fun. I would have loved to have met her. That would have been really cool. And honestly, looking at some of the judges they have like coming up for the whole season, it seems like they have a lot of really fun options and fun people coming on, and they have a wide variety. So it's not like just like makeup influencers. I thought it was cool that Paris Hilton was on, because I feel like, I mean, growing up, I used to watch her on TV, and like I feel like she hasn't really been, I mean, I haven't personally seen her in a lot recently, but I'm sure she's out there still. But I thought it was cool that they had like other people on the show, rather than like people like I would assume they'd have on the show, like James is like best friends, and I mean I saw Nikita I think is coming on later, but I thought that was really cool. Also, by the way, I've been using Heart On. I can't do get ready with me videos without like getting distracted, so I've been using Heart On after using my Man, and I've just been kind of placing that right here in the outer corner area and just kind of slowly building that up and just kind of tapping that on. And then I'm gonna go back into No Joke. It's that bright yellow shade, and just completely douse my brush in that. I'll shake off a little bit and just use that to really work on the edges. I don't know why, I'm sorry, it's going out of focus. This is probably gonna drive me nuts. I'm gonna watch back the video and realize it was out of focus the entire time. But the idea behind this originally, before I added on the purple, was I wanted to do like kind of like a sunflower, like something that reminded me of something sunny and shiny and happy and joyful, because I know right now we could all probably use that. I don't know about you guys, but it has been rough. It's been a fun time. I am so excited for things to go back to normal. But what else about the show? Because I thought it was I really liked it. I thought it was really cool. I liked too that they had them come on. It was funny because I remember seeing them all with like that makeup done on, and it's like, what are they wearing? Like, what was their prompt? And I thought it was so cool that they wanted them to create a makeup look that like represented who they were, and just hearing their stories, like that was just so amazing and honestly so inspiring, just to see just a wide variety of backgrounds and experiences. And I thought that was so cool how they did that and how that was their prompt, and it made so much more sense. And I thought that was a really fun way to get to know all the different like artists, and just hearing their stories is by learning more about them by basically just, you know, seeing the look that they created. Also, I could totally relate to Kaylin when she's talking about like talking too much. Like, there's so much in these videos that I cut out because I just ramble. I feel like it's boring and weird for me just to sit here quietly, so I overtalk and then I cut out what I feel like I didn't need to share. And then what I'm going to do is dip into, which shade am I dipping into? Therapy Sesh. It's the purple shade. I'm just using my ring finger. So I'm just dipping into that, getting a nice generous coat of that. And then I'm just going to just start tapping that on. Oh no, I got fallout. It's okay, I'll fix that afterwards. Oh, fixed. I'm just kind of tapping that on because I feel like this wouldn't necessarily, I don't want it to get too muddy. but I'm basically just putting that right where to cut the crease, and I'm just tapping that on. But I am really excited to see what else they show on the show. I really liked the first challenge. I thought that made a lot of sense, especially if you are a bigger influencer. Most likely you're gonna have a collaboration and have a product review. And I thought that was really interesting. It was also hearing what the judges had to say too about what they would prefer hearing from a product review, because I feel like I always feel like I can grow as a creator and as an artist, and it's interesting because I don't usually do like swatches when I do a new video, just because I feel like for me, swatches don't necessarily show what the eyeshadow would show. And I know Gabriel did kind of like the same thing where he didn't do swatches, he just did around the eyes, because I feel like that's gonna be the most genuine's not the right word. That's gonna be the most accurate. There we go. That's gonna be the most accurate, because I feel like if you're swatching on your arm, it might look different. I know some people, when they're swatching their own products, they really dig in there and they just like really go back and forth. So I typically don't do swatches, but it was interesting hearing how James was saying like, oh yeah, like swatches are like a given. It gave me some ideas when it comes to like filming videos, because I do a lot of like, not a ton, but I do some reviews like of new products that are coming out. And generally what I do is I just jump right into using the product, as opposed to like explaining it, talking about all the ingredients and sharing that. So I feel like that gave me a really nice perspective in terms of like, oh, like I could be doing my videos differently and maybe that would be more informative. So I feel like there's a lot to learn from this series, and that's what's cool. It's like I'm not just like mindlessly watching this, but I feel like it's a really good learning experience to figure out new tricks and tips as well. I am picking up Tipsy Girl. It is this like bright, vibrant pink color, and I'm putting that right underneath my lash line. And just going right underneath, I am ditching my little mirror there, and maybe that will help fix the problem of it just adjusting and readjusting and not wanting to hang out. That was one thing that was cool. Like that, to me, honestly, like that prize of like winning the whole like filming setup was like, I was like, oh, I would have loved that, just because like it's just good to know too what people are using. Like just having the knowledge of like what he uses, I feel like would be so helpful, because I feel like it's such a learning curve. Like I know that I don't have like some people have like a computer setup or a screen where they can really see what they're doing, but I'm literally just using my camera's like screen that's like flipped around, and it's so small, like I really can't see. I can kind of see what I'm doing right now, and I'm just trusting the process, but it's like definitely not as blown up as I would like it to be. After that, I am taking the Marc Jacobs blue eyeliner. It's in the shade, what shade is this? Out of the Blue. There you go. But it's this fun, bright, neon blue color, and I'm going to line my waterline with that shade. After applying the eyeliner, I am going to curl my lashes and then also apply some mascara. I'm using the Thrive Cosmetics. This is their Bryn mascara. It is just their classic rich black mascara. My lashes need all the help they can get, so I love using like the darkest black shade for my lashes just to really make them pop. I totally forgot to grab a pair of false lashes, so I'm gonna go pop those on and come right back to show you guys the finished look. And this is what it looks like with a pair of false lashes. These are the iconic lashes from House of Lashes. They are my all-time favorite lashes, just because I feel like they go with everything. They make everything look big and fun and bold, and I feel like they would go really well with this eyeshadow look. That is it for this Get Ready With Me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of this look. Let me know what you guys think of the show so far. Are you liking it? Were you planning on watching it? Are you going to watch it now? I really like what they've done with it so far. I feel like it is a pretty standard formula, especially if you watch shows like RuPaul's Drag Race. I feel like it's really similar, but I like what they've done with it, and I feel like it's something that I can definitely relate to as a YouTube creator, content creator. It's stuff that I have to go through when creating videos, especially like the whole editing process. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what that feels like to be under pressure and creating something. It was fun for me to watch as like a creator, because I feel like I could definitely relate to it. But if you guys don't create videos, did you guys feel like it's something that you could understand, or like do you still think you would enjoy it even if you don't create content? I'd love to hear from you guys and hear what you think. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!